Hello there and welcome back. It's Bob Proctor again. Do you know, I mentioned on the last video we sent you that I've been working in this field now for 42 years all over the world. And I have seen some absolutely phenomenal things happen in people's lives when they start to incorporate some of the information that we work with. Our whole purpose in our company is to change lives. That's what 6 Minutes is all about, changing lives. Well, I sent you a video on procrastination, and I gave you an exercise. I said, just write procrastination down, and then put below, do I procrastinate? And then carry it around and pay attention to what you're doing. Well, now, here's the solution to procrastination. It's decision. Do you know that you can go all the way through our educational system, anywhere in the world, and you're not taught how to make decisions? Most people are not taught at home because parents make the decisions for the kids, and they go on making them far beyond when they should. Let me read you something. I talked about this book of Napoleon Hill's. Let me read you something Hill wrote. He said, accurate analysis of over 25,000 men and women who had experienced failure disclosed the fact that lack of decision was near the head of the list of the 30 major causes of failure. Procrastination, the opposite of decision, is a common enemy which practically every person must conquer. Now he goes on to talk about this, and he points out that accurate analysis of several hundred people who had accumulated fortunes well beyond the $1 million mark disclosed the fact that every one of them had the habit of reaching decisions promptly and changing those decisions slowly if and when they changed them at all. And he pointed out people who fail to accumulate money without exception have the habit of reaching decisions, if at all, very slowly and changing those decisions quickly and often. Now, I want you to think about it for a moment. How are you at decision making? I've got an article here that I'll share with you. This was written by a lady that was in a coaching program of ours. She is a periodontist over around Philadelphia. She also has a master's in education. And I asked her one time, I said, Carol, why are you in our program? And she said, you know things I don't know. I thought that was a pretty good answer. Well, listen to this. She wrote this paper on decision. I've shared it with a lot of people. I want to share it with you. She said there's a corollary element that must go hand in hand with decision, and that is commitment. It must be a committed decision. She said most of us have weak decision-making muscles. We do not even recognize what it means to make a real decision. We fail to realize the force of change a truly congruent, committed decision makes. Now think about it for a moment. Gosh, I've thought about this so many times. She says part of our problem is that we use the term decision so loosely that it's come to describe our wishes and not our commitments. Instead of making decisions, we state our preferences. You might want to play this and listen to that again. The word decision comes from the Latin roots de, meaning from, and caedere, meaning to cut. Therefore, a decision means cutting from any other possibility. A true decision then means you are committed to achieving a result and then cutting yourself off from any other possibility. Decision takes on a whole new meaning when you look at it like that. She says committed decisions show up in two places, your calendar and your checkbook. No matter what you may say you value or even think your priorities are, you have only to look at last year's calendar and checkbook to see the decisions you've made about what you truly value. For example, she said, I'm committed to growth, both professionally and personally. I review my calendar. A review of my calendar always shows multiple continuing education courses, seminars, and workshops in both the personal growth area as well as my profession. My checkbook is filled with tuition disbursements, purchases of books and videos. Bottom line, see how you've reserved your time. Look at your expenditures. These are the roadmaps to the decisions you've made in the past. And then she closes with a phenomenal statement. After making a true decision, especially the tough ones, we usually feel a tremendous burden has been lifted from our shoulders. Now think about this for a moment. Napoleon Hill wrote an entire chapter on the concept of decision. It's the opposite of procrastination. You see, when you become a decision maker, as Carol Hildebrand's talking about it here, or Dr. Hildebrand, you've automatically eliminated one of the greatest problems that we've got, procrastination. Now, we can work this with little things, not just the big things, everything. Every time you go to put something off, boom, make a decision, do it. You might want to watch this video a half a dozen times because it's a powerful idea, and it's an idea that can change the course of your life. It has certainly changed the course of my life. I have become very decisive. I don't fool around. If a decision comes up just like that, I make it. Now, I wasn't always that way. I was probably one of the greatest procrastinators on the planet, but I'm not anymore. And you know something? My income has spiraled. I've got really meaningful friends. I mean, people with character. You know, when they say something, they mean it. There's depth to them. I study with some of the greatest people in the world. And you know, I really put it all down to decision. Listen, he studied 500 of the world's most successful people, the author of this book. He felt this subject was important enough that he wrote an entire chapter on it. Eliminate procrastination from your life completely by becoming decisive. Remember, committed decisions. This is Bob Proctor. Thanks very much.